Test, 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 test. Okay. This is the story. This is a very important. This is a fairy tale. This is a. This. Please pay attention. You've had your chance. You've had your chance, lad. It's no time to stop your labor in vain. Bring your life into focus. That's right. And expose yourself. Yeah, expose yourself.
David, put it away.
Ignore it. Ignore the camera, Penny. Forget it.
David, I'm not dressed.
Penny, the camera is your friend. Penny, sure it's been here all night.
David, if you don't put that thing away, I'm leaving.
It isn't only in Britain that spring this year has taken everyone by surprise. Here, in the Ticino, on the borders of Switzerland and Italy, the slopes overlooking Lake Lugano have already burst into flower, at least a fortnight earlier than usual. But what, you may ask, has the early and welcome arrival of bees and blossom to do with food? Well, it's simply that the past winter, one of the mildest in living memory, has had its effect in other ways as well. Most important of all, it's resulted in an exceptionally heavy spaghetti crop. The last 2 weeks of March are an anxious time for the spaghetti farmer. There's always the chance of a late frost, which, while not entirely ruining the crop, generally impairs the flavour and makes it difficult for him to obtain top prices in world markets. But now these dangers are over, and the spaghetti harvest goes forward. Spaghetti cultivation here in Switzerland is not, of course, carried out on anything like the tremendous scale of the Italian industry. Many of you, I'm sure, will have seen pictures of the vast spaghetti plantations in the Po Valley. For the Swiss, however, it tends to be more of a family affair. Another reason why this may be a bumper year lies in the virtual disappearance of the spaghetti weevil, the tiny creature whose depredations have caused much concern in the past.
Colin's later attempt to mechanize a home-built projector leapt way beyond pedal power.
I don't know who else would have thought of using steam power to drive a projection system, but he did, and it worked.
Well, he was clever enough to make his own film. He got flax leaves from down the swamp at the back of the farm. He boiled them, turned that into cellulose nitrate, and then he had to find something for the emulsion. He found eggs.
Not eggs. Egg whites. He used the egg albumin process, which they used in the 19th century for making materials photosensitive. He adapted that, though, to use for moving images.
The trouble was that it took 12 eggs to make 1 minute of film. That's all right, as long as he was making short films.
Colin was caught red-handed. The precocious boy had been planning the world's first feature-length film.
Later in the week, Dr. Fletcher is again honored by the greatest city in the world as she gets to christen her first ship. Quite a success story for a little girl from the backwoods.
I'm speaking to you from the home of Mrs. Catherine Fletcher. She's the mother of Dr. Eudora Fletcher, the famous psychiatrist so much in the news these days. And I'm going to be asking Mrs. Fletcher to begin with, to tell us something about what it's like to raise a medical genius. And I might ask you about the many sacrifices that you've made to put your daughter through medical school. And could you speak right into the microphones, please?
Sacrifices we had none. John was a stockbroker, he had plenty of money, and I came from a wealthy Philadelphia family, so...
Well, I'm sure that your daughter always wanted to be a doctor, ever since she could remember.
I don't think so. I always thought she wanted to be a flyer like her sister Merle and raise a family. But she was a very moody child.
But still, a mother always dreams for her child to have the kind of success that your daughter has.
She was a very difficult girl.
Well, tell me about your husband. I understand that he is a simple businessman. He must be so thrilled and pleased to have his daughter achieve such recognition.
John had problems. Depression. He drank.
Well, Mrs. Fletcher, thank you so much for speaking with us today.